Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I'm going to try to bring you guys a Tavorsk District map breakdown today. I have some images that we're going to be taking a look at, which are basically drawings from me of how this map plays, everything about it, so you guys can get a better understanding. We're going to look at some examples through this gameplay, and I'm just basically going to keep the important parts. The overall score was 77-2 with a tactical nuke. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain some parts. I'll show you guys a few examples from this gameplay that I end up using some of these positions and things that I'm keeping in my mind, so you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on in my brain as I'm playing this match, and then you guys can incorporate some of these strategies into your matches as well. So we're going to go ahead without further ado, and we're going to cut right into the plan that we're going to be using for Tavorsk District. And what I mean by plan is it's going to show you guys the overview, and then we'll break it down to smaller sections so you guys can understand basically one thing at a time, so you don't have to look at the whole image. But I want to give you guys just a quick overview, so let's get right to that. So here's the overview of our plan. This time I have the color codes on the left so you guys can see what each one means. What I mean by patrol enemy owned, that means basically if an enemy owns that flag, that's where you want to be to patrol it. So this is what the overview of the plan looks like. I have separate images for each color code so we can go over what they mean, but that's the overview of Tavorsk District and what your strategy should be if you're going to be trying to go for longer streaks and staying alive. So the first thing we're going to be taking a look at here is the flank routes, and as you guys can see, we have basically three main areas you want to go. Now, the left side and the right side work both ways. That's going towards B to E, E to B, C to whatever, and then whatever to C. So basically, these are the main flank routes I take because there's a lot of cover. You're going to be going underneath where the snipers are generally going to be. They're not really going to be looking down at you. There's a lot of buildings to keep you covered. And then the main area I want to focus on is the middle. This is a good area to rotate between C, D, and B. Not so much for B, just simply because you have to cross in that open street, which is where a lot of snipers that might be on top of A will look down at. But getting to C and D really quickly, and you will see that throughout this gameplay, after I go over our plan of action here, you guys will really see how I use this area to keep rotating between the three, and that's how you stay alive on this map. So use these flank routes to your advantage. You're going to have to go with the flow of your enemies, but I promise you that these areas on the map are extremely important and very crucial towards earning high score lines on Tavorsk District. So now we're going to be looking at some sniper spots, and these are basically the common sniper areas on Tavorsk District. Basically, these are the areas you want to steer clear of if you're using a regular gun. You do not want to be looking at people on top of these buildings. You just want your snipers that are on your team to be fighting these guys. And if you are a sniper, then you're going to want to pick one of these buildings and try to keep the enemies from going up top, so that way your teammates on the ground can have better support of basically flanking around the map and just overall gaining map control for you guys. These, like I said, are the most common spots where people are going to be, so try to go to areas, if you're going to be trying to stay alive, go to areas where you won't be seen from these areas as often. Also, make sure you're paying attention to your radar. You can press options if you're on PlayStation, or I don't know what the name of the button is on Xbox, but basically it would be what your start menu is, and you can see a huge overview of the map that looks like this. And if you see teammates positioned on some of these buildings, then you know you don't really have to look there at that point in time, and that can also help you basically get an understanding of where snipers may be on the map. So keep that in mind while you're playing this map. So these are the common patrol areas on Tavorsk District, and what I mean by that is these are going to be the areas that you want to be basically at if the enemy owns that flag. So let's say for A, if they're spawning A, you're going to want to be in that yellow area of A. If they're spawning B, you're going to want to be in that yellow area of B. These are basically going to be the areas that you want to patrol. You can go outside, of course. You don't have to be exactly in the circle, but these are the main points of the map where you want to be. So the reason I have these marks on like D, let's say just like a crescent or whatever on D or E, is because those are the outer, like lower portion of the building. They're a little bit higher up, but they're like a mid rooftop, and the reason I have those marked is because generally they're safer from snipers, people on the ground. It's basically easy to pick those guys off, and you can see people that are spawning in generally, like for example the one I have marked at the E building, that one can look over a spawn into the enemy HQ. The one that's on in front of C, right above C. That one can look down into D, and you can see that area. You can also see behind C if they're spawning in there. So these are the main points you want to be patrolling depending on what flag the enemy has, and you can get a lot more kills. But first, let's go over the spawns so you guys can then now understand which patrol spots you need to be in based off of the enemy spawns. So basically there's two types of spawns in Ground War. There's HQ spawns for the A side, HQ spawns for the E side, and these are also effective on the flags. So basically, if you see a green one, that is going to mean they are spawning towards the AHQ side. If you see a blue one, that is going to be the general area that they're spawning in for the EHQ side. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is these are not the exact spawn points. These are just to give you a general idea of where people are going to be spawning, so where you should be looking quickly whenever you know that there could be people spawning in around that flag. And basically, this is how the spawns work for all the maps in Ground War, but there are certain areas, of course, they spawn at. So generally, they're going to spawn towards their HQ whenever they own a flag. So getting into the gameplay here, looks like we have our white phosphorus being called in. And I was basically just trying to position that to get some people off of buildings. That's one of the things I like to use the white phosphorus for. As you guys can see, skipping ahead a little bit, I have my support helo out now, and generally whenever I play Ground War, I like to get high kills. I don't really care too much about going for the nukes or whatever, even though I have about 112 of them now. But I really just like to get these high scores, so I was running 3 lethal kill streaks. Of course, an advanced UAV or specialist is going to help you get those nukes if that's what you're chasing after. But for me, I just like to chase after high scores, high KDs, stuff like that. So anyways, I had all my streaks out, and I realized I was going on a little bit of a streak, so I realized, you know, I could possibly get a tactical nuke, so let's go ahead and just try to capitalize on that, try to get it, see what we could do. I do play a little bit more aggressive than normal, but right here I'm just using UAV to pick off a few stragglers. You have to realize one thing is I showed you guys those spawn points, but remember, since there is squad spawning in Ground War, that's going to mean people can spawn on their squad mates, which makes sniper spots also a spawn for those snipers. They can have their teammates there in their squad spawn on them up in those sniper spots, and if they are anywhere around just flanking around the map, they can have teammates spawn on them there. So that's why sometimes times can get like a little bit of a dead zone. And right here also is a little bit of a jump spot you can get to this patrol area. This is the one I showed you guys that was above C, and that's a quick way to get up here instead of having to take the ladder. There's also right here, like I said, I just tend to play a little bit more aggressive. I'm just kind of standing on a rooftop. You don't want to do this. I don't recommend doing this. The reason I was doing it is just to see if I could die so I could earn more kill streaks, but since no one was killing me, I kind of realized, maybe there's not many snipers, maybe I can actually go for a nuke on this map. So that's what we end up trying to do right here. I'm just trying to see if I can get any cheeky kills on that helicopter, just, you know, whatever. And like I said, this is a good area to look into D. I heard this guy sprinting below me, so I was able to get a free kill on him. Right now I'm looking for that helicopter that I just heard going overhead. You never know if you can shoot someone out of it. Right here, I missed the headshot. My class was not really built for the most stability. I ended up picking that guy out mid-air. And now I'm going to try to rotate because I'm afraid that guy might have a sniper that's on top of the E building. So I'm going to go ahead and try to reposition, just see if he peeks over. I'm not putting my sights on where I think he'll peek simply because you never know what could possibly happen. And right here is just some really awkward shooting simply because you don't really get aim assist whenever you're looking through small cracks and stuff and crevices of buildings. So that's something you also want to keep in mind is the aim assist in this game is very strong but very inconsistent, and it depends on how much you can see through. Like if there's a lot of cracks and stuff like that, you're not going to get a lot of aim assist. Same thing if people are on head glitches, so you got to be careful where you're aiming. If you're on controller, if you're on keyboard and mouse, that doesn't matter. But yeah, so this guy was sitting in a corner down there, was able to get a free pick. I realized right here I could not reload, so I needed to get ammo. I was running dead silence because I was trying to play a little bit of hardcore 10v10, try to see if I could get you guys some gameplay in there. I think I did end up getting one. But yeah, so there is basically, you know, I needed to get some ammo, so I had to be really careful about that. You should be running munitions box and stopping power as your 2 field upgrades on this map, simply because those are going to be the best ones. Right here's a quick jump spot. You can get a nice head glitch here looking over at B. This is that area I said is like the central building for rotating between B, C, and D. As you can see right now, they own B. So their main HQ is, I believe it's the A side. So they're going to be spawning towards A, and that's all right. Basically, I know that, but I'm also looking for people that could be pushed up because they own the flag. I don't know how much work my team has done. There is a little bit, you know, I don't know everything because I'm playing solo, I can't see my radar, I can't see where my teammates are at. It's a little bit of a different scenario because it's realism ground war right now, so we kind of have to adjust our gameplay to that. I see a few enemies on top of this building, and I'm confident in my AK-47 shot to be able to pick these guys off. I believe me and this guy have a little bit of a gunfight going on now. He's got a sniper, you know, he wants to kill me. I got to take care of him as fast as I can. I do. One of the things about realism is you will hear a sound notification whenever you kill someone, so make sure you are playing with your sound. If you have a headset, it's going to be really helpful if you're playing through a TV or monitor and you have just your speakers playing. You might not be able to hear when you get the kill, so it's very crucial that you're listening for those sound notifications that you just pick somebody off. Anyways, like I said, I'm just looking at A here for some picks, just trying to work on my long-range accuracy, picking people off across the map, and now I'm going to go ahead and try to run a flank, see how I want to rotate. So we have B, and they have, well, we're about to get A too, but I know since this is the side they're spawning on, I don't want to go back to E. The reason why is because I know there's two main spawns, right? E and the HQ over here. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and try to push up to their HQ, and the reason I do this is because I figured maybe there would be a lot of people that might be coming in from here to retake A, because a lot of snipers like to sit on top of A. That was not the case, however, and they started spawning E, they pushed D, so this is why things get a little bit slower, right? So now I got to go back to D and E, and here I am in this building, the good rotation spot. So I still have my stim shots, I haven't really used them yet, so I decide, alright, now it's time to make it across the street, pop a stim shot so you can get your tactical sprint refreshed as you are doing it, so you don't run out of tactical sprint, and then you can get to safety, which is right here, this building across from that rotation area, and that's why stim shots or double time are very, very good. Actually use them in combination with each other, and you can get a lot of sprint off. Anyways, right here, just trying to get some long range shots in. My aim was not the greatest, haven't really been playing in a few days, so felt a little bit weird there. I was also just trying to get some long-range recoil control practice in. Love doing that as well. Right here, just looking over at C real quick because there were some enemies there. Enemies are taking B. This is a very, very strong power position to be in, just like that one I told you guys about, the middle building there that I was just at before. The reason this is such a strong power position is if they have B, if they have C, if they have D, and even E, as you guys can see, there is so many different areas you can look at where the enemies will be coming from. So this is a very strong area to be in as well. Right here, I know I'm close, kind of close to the nuke, so I'm just looking for a few more picks. LAVs or IAV, actually, what is that called? It's an APC, that's what it is. APCs are mobile spawns, so people will spawn on the APCs, and it's nice to have spotter and realism. You see, I see that APC coming around. I'm gonna go ahead and take cover. I don't want him to see me sitting in that garage, because then he'll kill me. Right here, this is me getting a little bit stupid. I was really just like, I'm so close to Snook, I just want it. Don't do that. Don't chase after a guy that's going up there. You're not gonna be able to get him, and if someone sees, you know, where you're at, you'll die. But anyways, I end up picking up my tactical nuke right there. So now I'm going to go for a little bit of a gun streak. I think I go on a pretty decent gun streak, so that's 31, 32 right here. I'm actually curious to see how many kills I got, because you can't tell in realism because that little kill counter doesn't show up. So far we're on 32 gun streak. I'm looking for some more picks and stuff like that. There's actually a guy that's laying down right here. I pick up 33 right there. Number 34 was laying down in the grass right here in front of D. You guys will see whenever this UAV gets called, and I realize he's still down there. I'm like, what's he doing? He's just laying down in the grass. He's a little snake in the grass, slithery snake boy right there. But anyways, so we're on a nice 34 gun streak right now, and I believe, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rotate my way back to this rotation building, because they have C, they have D, but we were starting to take it. I don't know, I think they were capping B as well, so this is a really good position to be in yet again, because they're taking a lot of different flags. So right here, I'm basically just picking off a few more people. Got a 36 gun streak going now. So I'm going to go ahead and check C real quick, just run in, see if I can pick anyone off. One of the ways you could test to see if there's people at C, this guy ends up surviving my gunfire. One of the ways you can test C is basically step on a flag real quick. If it says contested, then you know there's going to be people sitting on C, and then you can use that knowledge you now have. There's enemies sitting there defending the flag to your advantage, and then they might not know, you know, hey, where did this guy just go? Where did he even step on from? But now you know where people are going to be while they're sitting on that flag, so you know that there's going to be people there. Anyways, I think we're on like a 38 gun streak now. And yet again, I'm still just going to be looking for some people here at C, just because this is one of their main spawn points. I already know we got the win, so I'm not concerned about capturing flags, because I have the tactical nuke in my back pocket. As you guys can see right there, I stepped on the flag, and I end up getting kind of one-tapped by a AMAX here, because he full-outed, he hit the headshot, and in ground war, realism ground war, if you hit the headshot, basically it's a one-shot kill. I don't know if it's a one-shot kill across the map, but I know it's a pretty good one-shot kill. radius. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys learned something. I ended up calling in a tactical nuke and just staying still pretty much, just because at that point, just cracking the knuckles, you know, laying back and just enjoying the 38 gun streak I got on Tavorsk District. But that's basically how I play Tavorsk District. It works out pretty well for me. I usually get a lot of high streaks on this map, and I generally do that simply because a lot of the sweaties back out because they don't really know how to play this map, and they don't generally get a lot of kills. So you guys can use this newfound knowledge to your advantage and get some good scores, good gameplays, and nukes and everything, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.